Hello, people. So I've just been on Twitter, and within one day, Count Dankler's managed to raise 100 grand towards legal fees to do an appeal at the High Court. And I've tried to put comments. I've made comments last year about this. Now, people, well done. This is the article, Scottish Herald or something. A few pictures. I'm not even going to bore you with it, but yeah. So the plan is, and it seems to be instigated by Tommy Robinson, is that Tommy Robinson is like talking to Dankula about precedent, and now Dankula's got this idea of precedent in his head, and I don't want this to happen to anyone else. I can understand, all noble goals, but you're going about it the wrong way. And also, you have all these poor silly sods donating all their little cash. Look at this, grands, 1,000. Philip DeFranco, the champion of free speech, has sharing has raised nearly 200 quid, and he gave 1,500 bucks himself. And everyone's doing this in some sort of fight for free speech. There is no fight for free speech. Free speech is granted. It's not something that anyone has to fight for. What the issue is, this is people are getting distracted by the issue. What the issue actually is not enforcing your rights to free speech. You're being held to account in a criminal court with criminal rules written by a legal society that defines its own rules. And I've just mentioned on YouTube, you can't argue with someone's society about what their rules should or shouldn't be. You can't go into a swimming pool and say, yeah, we are allowed to run by the side of the pool. We are allowed. No, we are allowed. We are allowed. No, but this is they'll say back to you, this is our facility. We bought and paid for this. We run it. We administrate it. We are making our rules for our society, for the smooth running of our club and the facilities we offer the public. You can't go in there and say, no, but we're going to run by the swimming pool because we know we won't slip. It's stupid. Going to the legal society and saying to them, oh no, you can't define this as a crime, is nonsense. Again, it's like me going to the Burger King, an example I gave on YouTube just now. It's like me going to Burger King or McDonald's and saying you can't put salt in your burgers. I can't. Who am I to tell another society or anyone in that fact? Never mind a society. Who am I to even tell Dankula what to do? But the one thing I will say as a general piece of advice to people out there is: do you really feel in your heart of hearts that in order for anyone in this country or on this land, do you really think that the system of justice evolves around how much money you've got? And let's take it back to Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson's trying to help that Chelsea girl. I think it's Chelsea something or other. He's trying to help that Chelsea girl who says she got raped by certain people, certain individuals. And do you think if a woman gets raped, in times gone by since the beginning of humanity, that the person who's been a victim of a sexual assault or a rape would be dragged in front of a village or a society or a community and says, right, cough up your money and then we might do something about it? That's ridiculous. Do you think someone who's suffered an injustice, or someone who's basically in this case has just gone to the wrong court? all that's happened in Dankler's case, he's just in the wrong court. And he's like, oh, we're going to fight someone in their court. It's like, how are you going to fight someone in their court with their rules, with their procedures, their societal members, and take representation to be held accountable in their little game? And now you're going to go to the Court of Appeal and you're going to appeal it all, and somehow you're going to have a new result. It's a nonsense. This is just total. This is the blind leading the blind. This is Tommy Robinson trying to drum up support. Hey people, let's get together. But hey guys, let's get together and support and fund the very society that is making and administrating these oppressive rules via Parliament. It's stupid. It's just a waste of money. I have no idea what Chad Singer, what his financial situation is. If Chad Singer could have put that 1 grand towards his kids and his food on his family's table, what's he sacrificed it? Has he gone to a payday loan to finance this because he feels so strongly about this free speech going around, and he feels that this is an injustice in some way? Now, obviously, he's being a very kind man here, Chad Singer, and he's gone out and donated 1 grand. But perhaps Chad Singer could have needed that. Charity starts at home. Jeremy, Michael, all these lovely. Chad Singer again. He's done another 600 there. What's he? It's just insane. People, you don't need money for justice. What you need to do is learn how to access court, learn how to hold court, learn how to be hold the people who are bringing you to, because of course they're bringing you to their court to win, right? They're not going to let you win in their court. It's like if you and I were having a disagreement, or which court would you take me to? It's like pistols at dawn. The guy says, I challenge you to pistol at dawn. Okay. And then the defendant gets to choose the weapons. He says, well, what weapons would you like? Yeah. I prefer swords. I prefer pistols. Yeah. The defendant gets to choose, but not in a legal court. In a legal court, the defendant has to take a beating because you're not legally qualified. It's all pantomime. It's all a show. And it's just so frustrating seeing people like us. I mean, he just said it went above, well, this article I was looking at. He just said it's gone above 100 grand, and in the time it's taken me to flick onto it, it's gone to 110 grand. And how many more people are taking bread off their families' tables in order to donate this guy's silly little joke that's gone completely out of control, and is going to start funding the very people who caused the legislature to exist. These are the very people. This money is going to the very people who dragged Dankula into court. That's the insanity of this. Stop. It's not necessary. It's totally not necessary. Justice doesn't cost you a penny. The free courts, the free use of courts of record and not of record shall be granted to the people. Has Dankula claimed that he's a people? Probably not. He's just gone throwing money at people he doesn't know, doesn't trust. People who he presumes are professionals and are going to represent his best interests. But anyway, I digress. It's very frustrating seeing this happen. I've said it before. I'm trying to get the point across to the plebites out in the world, but it seems like everyone, especially around Dankula, he seems to build up a community of ridicule and a quagmire of hate speech followers. Just very short-tempered, very, I don't know, is it like I'm sure there's some sort of medical term for this kind of negativity or cynical kind of outlook, like a community of cynical outlookers on life. Everyone's out to get you. Everyone's a shithead. But when it comes to needing representation, 100 grand throw it at the guy who's going to do the same, who's part of the same society. That will make sense to them somehow. But a few pearls of wisdom from a fucking nobody. Oh, that's fucking trash. Anyway, and all these muggins down here are getting dragged into it. Look at these poor people. Oh my god. That's that guy say birthday? No. Crazy. You also have to consider the point of view from a solicitor or lawyer or someone of that ilk that's going to represent you, yeah? There was one with Tommy Robinson, again with that Chelsea case, where the guy sat down, gave a clear account of what it was going to cost, something like 50 grand to bring that Chelsea case, I think it was 50 grand, to bring that Chelsea case to prosecution, yeah, where she's trying to take her to court, is going to cost in the region of 50 grand. Now, when you stick up 100 grand, I don't know where he got 100 grand from. Let's say the legal guy says, yeah, it's going to cost at least 100 grand to get this before the High Court and to have any prospect. I don't know how money equals success, but let's say, he should have said $1 billion, but in this case, 100 grand to get this in front of a High Court appeal judge, whatever, who's going to take it seriously and look at it, and maybe we'll get some result. Maybe nothing's guaranteed in any of this. You've got to remember that. But the thing is, once you says, well, we've raised 100 grand in one day, what would you do if you're in the mindset of making money for legal advice? You can say, well, we'll take it to stage 1 now, and unfortunately, it looks like we're going to lose. But if you donate another 200 grand, then we're pretty sure we'll get the result we need. And then things progress, and oh no, it looks like they're going to chuck you in prison, Marcus. Oh, Marcus, now we need another 500 grand. If we don't get 500 grand now, you're going to go to prison, mate. And then, Marcus will raise 500 grand. That goes towards legal fees. And Marcus, we just about managed to keep you out of prison. Phew! That was a close one. But we still lost the case. But hey, we tried really hard for you. Yep, I guess the government's full of bastards. Never mind. But next time we'll try twice as hard if you raise $1 million. You understand how this game works? What's the cap on this nonsense? Absolute nonsense. So please beware. Donate or beware, man. with this stuff. Justice doesn't cost a penny. You just don't know how to access courts.